Hello, football fans. Can you believe we are about roughly one quarter through this NFL season? God, time flies. Seems like yesterday I was waiting for this thing to just jumpstart. But anyway, um, entering week 4, there were 8 undefeated teams, and now that total has cut more than half. Um, it started that Thursday game in Lambeau. The Packers lost a heartbreaker at home to Philly. Um, Dallas lost a Sunday night game uh, to the Saints, despite the fact that the Saints didn't score a touchdown. I still can't believe it. 12 points, all field goals, and that was enough to beat the Cowboys. Go figure. Uh, the undefeated Lions season was no more. The quest for 15-0-1 ended barely, might I add, at the hands of the Kansas City Chiefs, who remained unbeaten. The Bills' undefeated season, yes, they were 3-0. That came to an end too, in sputtering fashion, losing 16-10 due to turnovers. Yes, New England took the ball away 4 times, but despite that, they barely beat the Bills. But let's talk about the two North divisions. It's a tale of two North divisions. The AFC North is bad. After everything that happened, nobody has a winning record. The NFC North is good. After everything that occurred, nobody in the division has a losing record. But I'll talk about my North first. Of course, the Packers moved back into first place with the Lions loss, and the Bears beat the Vikings behind Chase Daniel because Mitch Trubisky became the latest quarterback to get injured. Oh dear. So the NFC North is very interesting after 4 games. And meanwhile, the AFC North saw Cleveland. I said this was going to happen. I said in last week's video, Cleveland's going to beat the Ravens and the team's going to be fine. They're just fine. They're in first place. Cleveland is in first place in the division for the first time in forever. Never mind that it's early. Never mind that it's now the second day in October, or the first week in October. Cleveland is in first place. That's the story here. And of course, week 4 ended with a Monday nighter between the Bengals and the Steelers. Now both teams were 0-3, but both teams were 0-3 into that game. But the way the game was played, it truly seemed like a tale of two different 0-3 teams. Pittsburgh played like a team that is 0-3 only because they had people out. Pittsburgh played like that. Cincinnati played like a team that's 0-3 because they stink. I think they kicked a field goal early to take the lead. Those are the only points they scored. Oh, goodness. So, and here's the thing. In that bad AFC North, Pittsburgh actually has a shot. They only 1 game out of the lead. Just one. Just one. And think about this. Week 5 is coming up. Week 5 is coming up. It starts tomorrow, but let's talk about Sunday and Monday. The Steelers play the Ravens at home. And the Browns go to the Bay Area to play the Niners, who are one of the 3 unbeaten teams left, along with Kansas City and New England. If things go like I believe they will, there'll be a 3-way tie at 2-3. Oh my God! Talk about mediocrity. Well, it's a very interesting development. Pittsburgh, who looked like they could have been dead at 0-3, could get 2 quick wins and be in it. It's gonna be very, very interesting. But oh my goodness. But yeah, I have to talk about what happened with the Rams. What the hell happened with the Rams? the great vaunted defense, and it is vaunted. The great vaunted defense gave up 55 points at home to Tampa Bay, a team with Jameis Winston. I mean, it's all thanks in part. It's all thanks in part to Jared Goff not knowing what the holy hell he was doing. I mean, he was a mess. He's why I dropped this. He's why I dropped his ass from my fantasy team. I never started him. It's a good thing I never did, because otherwise I wouldn't be 2-2. I'd probably be in the bottom of the league if I started him. But um, he he just stuck up the joint, and Tampa Bay just shitted all over that great defense. It is a great defense, but 55 points, that's a franchise record they set for points. And it was against one of the top defenses in the league. And like I said, the ironic twist is the Saints had one of the worst defenses in the league, but they only gave up 10 points to Dallas. And speaking of the NFC East, the Giants are back in it thanks to Daniel Jones. Well, that and the fact that they played Washington. I mean, Washington is everybody's hacky sack this year. I mean, DC right now, DC is just glad that hockey is back. And yes, I know the Nationals advanced to the playoffs, but they're going to get killed by the Dodgers. So they're just glad hockey's back because they have a real team to go for now. Washington has a lot of that team has a lot of problems other than that racist name. But they're 0-4 and they're about to get mutilated by New England. Terrible. Again, good thing hockey's back in that city. But anyway, like I said, the Giants have a shot. This close. They in Philadelphia are this close behind Dallas. And speaking of Dallas, let's fast forward to week 5. I'll get to that a little bit later. Week 5 starts with what should be a great Thursday night NFC West matchup between the Rams and the Seahawks. That's going to be in Seattle. I said this, the Steelers are going to host the Ravens. They could be back in it. There's a game in jolly old England. The Bears are playing the Raiders, which means Khalil Mack is going to go up against the coach that stupidly got rid of him. And I mentioned Dallas before. Dallas goes up against the Packers. And you know the Packers are going to be pissed off. And the game, unfortunately for Dallas, is in Jerry World, which means Aaron Rodgers is, to borrow the immortal words of a future WWE Hall of Famer, he's going to burn it down yet again. Undefeated, 3-0 in Jerry World, including winning the biggest game of the year. So that is not going to change, trust me. So Colts play the Chiefs on Sunday Night Football. As I said before, the Monday night game is Niners and Browns. It will be something if the Browns beat the Niners, but I'm not holding my breath. The Browns are better this year, but so are the Niners. I think the Niners got that oomph. It's gonna be a good close game. So that's what's in store for Week 5. So with that, I will say it was a great first quarter of the season. The rest of the season should be good. So enjoy responsibly, and good evening.